All right, this is what I'm gonna do.
We get to do curly hair.
I'm so excited to do curly hair.
And she's got curly bangs.
Can it really be that easy? Okay, Wayne. This is witchcraft. Have you actually seen the video from this man?
No, I haven't seen
You don't
one.
even know what we're
I
about
have
to do.
no idea.
You should probably see this. What Wayne Tuggle does is witchcraft. No one should be able to execute a curly haircut in 3 minutes. He takes maximum 5 if he's taking his time. But my question is, what aren't we seeing and what are we missing if we just haphazardly do a haircut in that fashion? What's good, everybody? I am your main girl, Mel, means by Mel, a professional curly hair stylist and specialist. And I want to break down the 4-section angles in motion Wayne Tuggle haircutting technique because I love how quickly it can be done and how a lot of people have been doing it at home. But my question is, what aren't we seeing and what are we missing if we just haphazardly do a haircut in that fashion? I feel like there's several steps that you need to know in order to execute this yourself, or if you are also a stylist, how you can do this with a little bit more personalization and, well, precision. In this video, we'll break down the technique, who it's actually going to be good for, what tools you may need, and anything else you'll need to know if you are brave enough to execute this. I have confidence that you can, but first, consider the following. So Wayne Tuggle presents his haircut as a fix for the dreaded triangle. As we know, if we have curly hair and it's only cut blunt, like a one-length haircut without layers, then it's all definitely going to sit with that bell shape, really full on the bottom and lacking a lot of curl definition on top. Which is why this haircut can feel revolutionary in curly hair that has never had layers. And the type of layering that he's putting into the hair is a concave layer. When you elevate the hair way over, this is 90 degrees, and he's elevating it over 180, what happens is you end up removing a lot of hair from that top section that is weighing your hair down and not giving you any layers. All that over-directing is a very valid, very useful technique in order to achieve a lot of layering throughout curly hair. It will remove a lot of weight and a lot of bulk and also give you a lot of curl dispersed throughout your hair. But does that mean it's for everybody? If you like a heavy bottom, a lot of fullness, this is not the haircut for you.
It's not the haircut for me, so why are you doing it to me?
Who said I was doing it to you? I am gonna cut your hair, but whatever, we're using you as a model right now. Look how beautiful. Give our model a round of applause. She's scared over here. Another thing you need to consider is your length. This is a great long layered haircut for long hair, medium to long hair. And another thing, you need to consider your actual curl pattern. A lot of the curlies that he does his haircut on are wavy to curly textures. You need to be very careful doing this on hair that is on the very loose wavy side because it can really break up your curl texture and pattern because of all that weight removal. It can almost look a little frazzled, broken up, and frizzy in hair that needs a little bit of that extra weight. So on those looser wavy textures, I would keep those layers a lot more blunt. I would do more of a 90-degree layering, which is what we showed in Amanda's last haircut. As you can see, it's a very full layering technique as opposed to really dispersing the curl. And on the other hand, if you have really tight curly hair and you're cutting these really long layers from the top, but then not addressing the bottom, you're gonna get a lot of bounce in those layers and there will be steps in the hair. You're not gonna get a really cohesive curl, especially if you're only doing it in 4 sections. Is Amanda a candidate for this? Yes, if she didn't already have all of these layers. We've already removed a lot of the triangle from her hair in her previous haircut, which we also have a video of on this channel if you want to see how we achieve this really full rounded haircut. We'll link that here. But just as a forewarning, in that video, we took a lot longer than just 5 minutes. We did a lot more sectioning, which is definitely something you will want to consider when you're doing curly hair. When there's a lot of hair, cutting it in just 4 sections is not going to care for each strand of hair that needs to be cut. And I'm going to be completely open and honest and transparent with you, bestie. This is not a great haircut to do when you're looking for a healthy trim. You're looking for every strand to remove, that 1/4 inch just to help remove any of the split ends, make them a little blunter and fuller again. Because when the hair grows out, it doesn't grow out all at the same length, the same pace. Our hair grows out a little straggly. Pair that with color, mechanical damage, bleaching, all the things, your ends start to thin out. So when you want to really bluntify and cut your ends, you want to do it all over evenly. All right, here's what we're going to do. I get to do curly hair. I'm so excited.
And I'm scared.
So now that we're actually going to get into the haircut, one thing I did want to mention is we prepped Amanda's hair beforehand. You want your curls to be in their most natural state, or how you always like to style it when you're going in to do this haircut. So instead of exactly the Wayne Tuggle technique, let's do it in a little bit more of a broken down, refined way. So we're still doing a haircut using his angles and motion technique, but with more precision. Does that make you happy? Are you less scared about that? Okay. As he says, he sections the hair in 4 sections. Your 4 sections may look different from another person's, because what you should consider is your hairline, your hair density, and even your face shape when you're considering your sections. So the first middle section should be where you naturally part your hair. Okay. Now all this hair here is the hair that's in front of your ear. As you can see, there is not a ton of density here, right? We want to make sure if we just go ahead and cut this, we're going to lose a lot of this beautiful full weight that will result in that mullety effect that we want to avoid. So in order to do that, I'm going to take more hair from the back, about 1 inch behind where her ear is. Now the next thing he does is just take this entire section and he finger combs it, really honestly haphazardly, and then he brings it all the way over here. Problem is, there is a lot of missed hair in here, and this is going to result in those really lived-in ends, which if you like a blunter effect, if you want to really go for health, you'll want to comb the hair more and use more tension. Brings it all the way here, opposite side, kicks it back at a 45, see where it drops off. There's just a couple strands here. Not removing a ton because her hair is already extremely layered, but what we are doing is removing where the hair drops off. Wherever the hair starts to thin out at the ends, those last 3 inches, that's what we're trimming.
Don't hurt me.
I'm not hurting you.
My hair was so nice before.
It's gonna be beautiful, Amanda. Barely removed anything. Now we're gonna take the bangs. And he's a professional. He does this all the time. He has that hand where he can feel where the bang section is, but you should really section that section. We're gonna take this small corner, this triangular section here, and finger comb, break up the curls a bit. Don't move your head. Do not have a wobbly gooseneck. Okay. Over direct and kick it back at a 45. Love his accent. And cut 3 fingers.
He does have a good accent.
You want to trust him. He makes you feel good. Okay. Do we see a difference here? Let's move on. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the section. We're going to finger comb it up. No combs in sight. Finger comb, but take your time. Finger comb the section to make sure that every hair is laying where it needs to be. We've now fingered through the hair. We take it all the way over to the opposite side. Now I'm holding the hair parallel at the part. We're going to kick it back on a 45. That creates a shorter layer in the back, longer in the front, okay? Your finger angle should be pointing further away from your face in this scenario for the full section. And he usually removes 3 inches or 3 finger lengths wherever the hair starts to get thin, which you can feel. So we're gonna go in and cut that off, okay?
That was a lot.
No, whoa, and not on the carpet. You are vacuuming after this. Now we'll take that triangular bang section, pull it all the way over, but this time we're angling towards the face. The shortest hair is going to be at the face. Now, another thing you want to consider. He's always cutting about 3 inches off the bottom, but what if the haircut previously was crooked? What if the original haircut wasn't even? You don't want to just cut off, 3 inches on this side, 3 inches on that side. You want to use your previously cut section as a guide. That way you're actually now creating a new haircut that is even in length. So when I'm pulling all of this over, I want to take some of our already cut hair into the same section. I see where that is, And that is now my guideline to make sure that I don't remove too much length or not enough length, and I don't have to go back in too many extra times. Gone ahead, trim the section. This is off your bangs. You need some face framing. Okay, and now we shake it. The front cut is done. Front cut is done. Now, well, in my mind, I like to believe that Wayne Tuggle then goes in and refines. So before I let the back section down, I do want to have Amanda shake her head around. That way I can see if there's any curls that are sticking out and not sitting where I want them to. Again, we're working off of a already really beautiful haircut. So right now, I'm just going to focus on any fish hooky, broken ends that I want to be a little bit more blunt. Any curls that are sticking out. Now that we have the front two sections done, we're gonna move to the back two sections. And I want to take some of the front section into the back to act once again
as our guide.
Wow, Amanda, are you like a professional hairstylist or something? Wow, you catch on quick.
I'm a fast learner.
Wow, so smart. And so brave.
And
so beautiful. Everyone, let's give Amanda a round of applause for being our rat today. Okay, back to the lab. This finger to tangle. We're grabbing the section. One big honking section. Now this is the left back quadrant. We're gonna over direct it to the front right quadrant. Pull, 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 pull. We're gonna kick it back on a 45, and all of this hair, sayonara, this is supposed to help remove the center, the middle, that is really creating that triangular effect and all that extra weight. I want to finger through the ends and cut them away. Okay? Fine, fine. I keep checking in with the boss because she will hurt me. She will hurt me. The truth is funny, isn't it? Everything I do is at your mercy. So I'm taking that whole section now and I'm pushing it to the front. Again, something that I wish she did to help cross-check and just double-check the shape. Because if there's anything that's too long or sticking out of place, I want to make sure I'm trimming it. And by pulling it to the front ever so gently, it's keeping that length when it comes back to the back, because we're still over directing, but we want to make sure that no strands of hair are left behind. So I am cutting in the silhouette that we want to see, rounded shape. It's a very, very visual thing. Okay, we're trimming the hedge, and I would have to say the hedge is looking juicy. Now let's see the Wayne Tuggle check in to see how his section compares to the uncut one here. This is what we cut. This is what we did not. Right. And, so for real, there is no difference really, because your hair is already layered. But it's okay. You're still a great model. You're still doing great. Just keep finger detangling. I will say, if we had actually gone section by section, we'd be able to do this a lot more effectively. But this is 5-minute haircut. All the way over to the opposite side, kick it back at a 45. Remove the middle. I want you to tip your head back. We want you to tip your head back because I'm seeing some stragglers. We're catching some strays. Can you see this in the mirror here?
You look like a little troll down there.
By having her tip her head back while I trim these ends here, we're creating some graduation, which is creating that really nice rounded bottom. Now, I have done a little extra refining, but what Wayne Tuggle does is he just has you flip all the way over, forward, and he shakes it out so you can see the full shape. And this is where, when I'm watching his videos, I notice a lot of those left out pieces that weren't refined. And so, because I already have, now that we flipped it over, I'm not seeing much, but if anything was, I do like to grab the curl, give it a little spring to see where I want to cut it. And when you're dry cutting curly hair, which he says, he always does, he never cuts curly hair wet. When you are doing that, you want to do all of this cross-checking from every angle. So we don't want to just flip forward. I also want you to flip over to the side. This is a 3D shape. I want to see it in every single way. Now that it's so beautifully expanded, make sure there are no stragglers. All right, now that we have completed the haircut, let's give a little final review. Remember that we already had a layered haircut that we were working off of, but if we take a look at it now, I do feel like some of the layers are a little bit shorter. It definitely shaved off a little bit of that extra weight, which does benefit your hair, especially because after her recent coloring, we were left with a little bit of damage, especially on those top sections. So those top sections are really what needed to be cut the most, which is also the case for most people with curly hair, or most people with hair in general. That top layer, you know, it's the canopy, it's the jacket of your hair. It tends to get a lot more weathered. So now that we have really trimmed off some of those top areas and then taken our time to really refine, would we do this again?
I would only do it again if I was in the same scenario where my last haircut was already done really well and had a really good shape, and I just wanted to basically quickly trim everything without having to sit there for an hour.
Precisely. This is a quick fix to reshape your hair. Once you start getting a little bit heavy on that top layer, this helps to bring the layers back up. But it's not going to be the fix if you have a lot of trimming to do. I wouldn't use it to create a whole new shape. I wouldn't use it if damage is what you're dealing with. When you need a good cut, you need a really good cut. You need to be thorough.
Yeah.
But when you need a quick technique to help just give a little extra bounce back to the hair, a quick reshape, it definitely works. In that case, this technique is approved. Just do it a little more carefully and do it with more time spent than 5 minutes. I know he does it for the videos. It's iconic in his fashion. You are good to go, honey. Until the next video, where we are definitely due to talk about your whole hair journey in general. For anyone that's been watching this for a long time, Amanda's hair has gone through many phases, and we're kind of restarting her hair journey because of, you know, the shorter length that she's currently at and the damage that we're dealing with. If you are also in a damage journey and looking to get it healthier, then stay tuned because we're going to put out a new video. And all the steps that I, a professional hairstylist, would recommend you do at home in order to get your hair to a healthier state if you are wanting to grow it longer. Do you miss your length?
I do a little bit, but I am really liking this shape.
I feel like this is such a beautiful length on you at the same time because
I feel like it
it
is.
really favors your curl
and
the volume. Like, look how full your hair looks.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. So, anyways, just a little sneak peek. Until then, this has been your main girl, Mel.
And Amanda.
And we're out. Peace.
He lives in you.
Okay. Guys, I just picked this lady up off the street. I'm sorry. Next time we'll do some better vetting.
Hey Siri, what time is it? Hey Siri, what time is it? And say it louder so we can hear you. I have no idea, I can't hear. Hey Siri, turn your volume up. Hey Siri, what time is it? I'm gonna snack, but I'm not gonna have a piece of salmon. One piece of salmon. No, we're fat. We eat too much.
What the fuck are you calling fat?
I said we are. She's beautiful in every single way.
Hey! Amanda loves when I
God
sneeze.
bless. Holy shit. You're trying to make me deaf every time you sneeze.
They've been really loud lately. Got like an old man sneeze going on. Get up! Gang, we caught my sister on a good day. How's that feel? Is it too tight? Is it tight? Okay. Can you see this thing? Where'd it go? I took it out, I think.
No, I saw it.
Oh, it's up here. Yeah, it's fully here. We're gonna ignore this shit stain here. It's actually hair color. I mean, your hair looks really full and beautiful.
I know, it's fine. Why do we have to do this haircut?
Wayne Tuggle, Mike. The tip of the tongue, the tip, the lips. The tip of the tongue, the tip, the lips. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. You're doing. Mel Robbins said every morning when you wake up, look at yourself in the mirror and give yourself a high five because you're doing a great job, sweetie. Just get it fucking together. Chat. Broke bitches should never laugh. Tyra!
Okay.
I love Tyra. This is actually perfect. You're in like delusional level. You're just giving up all mercy. Okay, cheers. She's genuinely so fucking scary. I mean, you were yelling at me just 5 minutes before we started filming.
I was?
You were very rough on me.
What
I
did I
had
say?
to freaking ask you by the skin of my teeth if I could go freaking pee!
I keep you in check.
Someone check on me.
No! Come on. I'm gonna reach. Watch the camera behind you. Your ass is
I know!
dangerously close.
I know!
Ciao, ciao!